Hello, lovely friends. It is Memorial Day, May 27th, 2024, and this is your girl, Emily Iris, coming through with some tapping for ya, as discussed, as promised, and I'm really excited to share this with you. And I think that the theme should be right on time. So, what I want to tap on today is integration. If you have ever experienced, like one of those massive up levels or exactly my co-host Bellatrix. If you've experienced maybe like a plant medicine ceremony, and if you've experienced something like a tapping, right? Where you're confronting a lot of difficult issues and you feel like you've pulled something up from the depths. You feel like you have done some deep shadow work. We then have another stage ahead of us, and it's not keep diving head first into the shadowy depths, because that's often how we get stuck and kind of live there. But the next thing to do is to integrate. So, this is coming up for me on a variety of levels right now. I am almost done with Tarot Quest. And those of you who have been on the journey with me, I'm sure you're probably like having some integration fatigue. Do you have something to share with the class? Thank you. And it's also coming up for me around a Marconic session that I got yesterday. And I'm actually remembering and recalling the first time I had a Marconic session, and I didn't expect as much integration and as much change and shift in my vibration as I received. And it was painful because I literally like didn't realize what a vibrational shift it was going to make for me, and how I was going to have to actually make different choices and show up in the world differently. And that goes all the way from what I'm eating to the way that I'm communicating, the words that are coming out of my mouth, the energy I'm bringing to the room and walking down the street. Like all of that changes as we learn more and as we uncover more about ourselves. So, this is just an invitation that if you're starting to feel that like download overload, or if you're also in a space where you've been doing a lot of work and it's time to start kind of re entering the mainstream, whatever that means to you, this is for you. We're going to integrate it all. So, when you're ready, I'll have you take a big breath in and a big exhale out with an open mouth. And if you're feeling especially wild, let's chug some water. Cheers. And I'll just share something too with you that, speaking of integration, maybe, I don't know, a month ago, I've been microdosing Amanita Muscara before I go to sleep and participating in dream work with my guides. And a month ago or so, I had like this bodywork session by my guides, which was wild. And they told me, excuse me, that I'm carrying too much Mars on my left side. And I was like, what does that mean? And a part of me was like, you're drinking too much magnesium, because I do take a magnesium supplement at night. And, like my sober girl nighttime mocktail, last tea of the day. And I have these like magnesium flavor things that I add to my waters. And I just today, it's been a month of me being like, what does this message mean? Just today, I looked and I was like, what is Mars? What kind of chemicals are found on Mars? Magnesium. So Sometimes it takes us a little bit of time to integrate all of the information that we're getting because those downloads, when they come through, it can be a lot all at once. So I just want to encourage you, like, you're not alone. You're not dumb. You're not slow. This is just how it works. Like, you don't know until you know. Forgive my sniffles. I got seasonal allergies and I'm tapping on that. So I expect them to go away soon, but we'll see. Okay, so starting on the side of the hand, when you're ready, let's go. I've been going through a season of growing. And there's a lot to integrate. It can feel really overwhelming at times. Thinking about doing all of the normal things again, like showing up to groups and visiting family, participating in my community and continuing to offer programs, making my art. All of this, I am reintegrating from a new level. And it feels like a lot. And there's a part of me that wants to avoid this part of the work. There's a part of me that wants to just forge ahead and keep cramming new information down my throat, which is very kinky and adorable. But there does come a point where I am at my capacity. And there's another part of me that just whispers in my ear, you could just watch that TV series again. That might help you integrate. You could just zone out on your phone for an hour or so. That might help you integrate. But I know neither of those choices is exactly what I need in this moment. So I'm going to tune in with the wisdom of my body, the wisdom of my being. And I'm going to allow myself to integrate all of the lessons I've learned until now. The best things in life need to simmer a little while. And this is one of those things. And so allowing myself the time and space to do this is an act of love. So even though in the past I haven't always allowed myself integration time, I completely love, accept, and forgive myself. And I'm ready to start doing it now. Okay, take a big pause, breathe it in through the nose, hold it at the top. When you're ready, a big exhale with an open, relaxed jaw. I hope that feels good for you. There's some stuff in there. I'm definitely feeling the whole spectrum, right, of ways that we avoid the work of rest. Wow. Avoiding the work of rest, right? Integration and quality rest. Because, I mean, do I even have to say this? But There's one kind of rest that's like zoning out, and there's another kind of rest that is nourishing and recalibrating. And you know the difference. So we're going to go in at the top of the head. We're going to tap through all of the points, and you can just repeat after me. And we are going to invite integration. Here we go. It is safe for me to be in my integration phase. There's a part of me that feels like I'm doing nothing. And I kind of judge myself for that. And that doesn't help, does it? Instead, maybe I could celebrate myself. Maybe I could celebrate all of the things that I've learned. And maybe I could honor wherever Virgo is for me and take a sexy inventory of all of the beliefs that have changed. So even though in the past, I haven't always allowed myself the time and space to integrate, I completely love, accept, and forgive myself. And this can be such a beautiful time. This can be a time of feeling things just click. This can be a time of showing off my new glow up. This can be a time of taking my new way of being out for a stroll, for a turn about the room for my literary fans. And maybe I want to make art about all of this. Maybe I want to go down a little research rabbit hole with some of it. And whatever it feels good to do, I'm going to trust that it's part of my integration. And I can differentiate between my sneaky little habit voices and the things that are genuinely restful and nourishing for me. So even though in the past, I may have felt like there wasn't enough time and space for integration, I completely love, accept, and forgive myself. And I'm making it part of all of the work that I do now. I may as well put it in my calendar that when I finish a course, I'm going to give myself whatever amount of time I like to integrate. I don't expect other people to just get it all right away. And maybe I can think of all of these learning opportunities as a delicious 5-course meal. I'm just going to take my time so that when I get to the dessert course, and when I head back to my room for the night, I feel satiated but not sick. I am now allowing myself time and space for integration. And even though I haven't always, I recognize that this time of doing nothing is a very necessary step on my path. It's safe for me to rest. It's safe for me to integrate. And I know that it's in these spaces where amazing new ideas are born, where I can make new connections that I have never, ever thought possible. And I am literally inviting new neural pathways in my brain. And I'm going to give them time to find each other. As I layer all of the amazing things I've learned throughout my life, I discover new and beautiful truths. And if I ran on to the next thing, I might have missed them. That's good. So even though in the past I haven't always allowed myself the space to integrate, I completely love, accept, and forgive myself. And I affirm that this healing journey, this learning and growing thing, is not a sprint. It is a lifelong marathon. Like one of those ultra races they do for days and days and days, spread out over my whole lifetime. So I'm not going to stress out about taking the time to rest. I'm going to count my rest time as an integral part of my growth. Even if I have to put it in my Google Calendar, I vow to take time to integrate everything that I'm learning. So even though in the past I've rushed this phase of my growth, I deeply and completely love, accept, and forgive myself. And if you need me, you can catch me at the integration station. sitting on a bench, people watching, getting lost in a daydream, and making all of the valuable and necessary connections. Because learning doesn't stop with the information we receive. I'm like a sexy detective of my life. Finding clues here and there and putting them together in the most unexpected places and ways. The most magical things happen when I just go for a walk. I am deeply and completely connected to my integration. And I count this as just as valuable as the learning phase, as the embodiment phase. And so it is. Take a deep breath in. Hold it at the top and let it go. All right, baby. That list was shorter than I expected. Sometimes that happens when you tap. You get to the bottom of the barrel, and I'm like, there's no more here. It's a good thing. So I hope that this was helpful for you, especially if you have gone through Tarot Quest, if you're going through Tarot Quest or any other long program that is taking you on a journey, and we need a little time, to come back to Hobbiton and settle down before embarking on the next quest. So let me know how this hits for you. I would love to hear your feedback and your insights and what you're integrating right now. And I am wishing you an absolutely lovely rest of your night and sending all kinds of love your way.